Ogre, the iconic final boss of Tekken. This series is filled with bosses, but Ogre remains the fan favorite, which is impressive since he's only been in 3 games, 2 of which were spin-offs. And yet, Ogre remains the most iconic boss, with fans demanding his return. So today, let's rank Ogre against every Tekken character, well, except for clone characters or guest fighters. But everyone else is fighting Aztec Shrek, to find out who beats him, who could beat him, or who just makes him sweaty. Not like that. I know a pretty good amount of Tekken lore, but got help from Babe Ruthless just to be safe, so make sure to check out her channel after watching my video. Last week I made this same video about Bison in Street Fighter, and the video did fantastic. So today I'm calling on Tekken fans to help this video succeed too. Don't let Street Fighter dunk on you. Leave a like so that Ogre returns in Tekken 9. I know we all want it, but instead developers turned him into a lolly. Not what we asked for. Bring back Ogre, alright? Leave a like down below if you agree. Then for anyone new, I'm trying to reach 500,000 subscribers before GTA 6 gets here. So if you enjoyed today's video, please subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss any future content. And without any further ado, everyone, let's begin. Alright, ranking every character against Ogre. This is gonna be tricky since Tekken focuses on the same 10 characters with everyone else getting mostly ignored. Or in other words, there's not many canon fights to go off of, which means I might have to use movies or comics to defend some of these points. And before anyone in the comments gets mad at me, Tekken itself is very inconsistent, alright? The power levels are everywhere, constantly fluctuating. For example, Lars, who barely beat Heihachi, and honestly that's a stretch since the man hopped right back up, but then in Tekken 8, Lars is somehow tanking devil beams. That's right, the same beams that destroy skyscrapers. Marduk and King are stopping trains with their bare hands. Yeah, you get my point. Tekken characters can basically do whatever the writers want because this series is about fun first, before everything else, and that's fine, but makes ranking the characters a bit tougher. So first up is characters that can beat Ogre. Keep in mind, he's only been in 1 game canonically, and in that game, 2 characters defeated Ogre. Jin Kazama and Paul. That's right. Paul defeated regular Ogre, then he transformed into true Ogre, which Jin defeated afterwards. And a lot of people forget that since new Tekken games treat Paul like a joke character. He was never meant to be. In fact, in Tekken 2, he fought Kazuya to a standstill. Both of these characters have canonically beaten Ogre, so they're here for sure, which means anybody stronger than them can likely beat Ogre as well. So Devil Jin's going up here, Devil Kazuya's going up here. Then we have Kazuya, who's arguably stronger than Jin, because in Tekken 8, Jin had to go through a whole arc just to beat Kazuya, so yeah, I mean, Kazuya at default is stronger. Then we have Jinpachi. He could likely beat Ogre as well, maybe in front of Paul, if we include his demon form, right, when he's a monster dude. Then you know what, I think Heihachi beats Ogre too. In Tekken 3, not really, but after Tekken 8, when he unlocked that new ability and got his memories back and was dusting everybody like it was nothing, clutching the 3v1, yeah, I think that version of Heihachi can beat Ogre, to be sure, because at this point, Tekken's like Dragon Ball Z for some reason. Then we have Lars, who on his best day, I think could beat Ogre. Keep in mind, this guy did beat Heihachi, kind of. The dude got back up, but still he beat him. Then later on, I think he beat Azazel, at least a weaker form, so that's very impressive. That's the Devil Gene incarnate, pretty much. And what about Wang? I feel like Wang's supposed to be pretty powerful too. He defeated Jinpachi, right? So he could probably beat Ogre. But oh boy, it's time for a hot take, Reina. But hear me out, and it's a bit of a spoiler, the Devil Trigger. That's the only reason why. Without the Devil Trigger, I don't think Reina wins, but the end of Tekken 8 reveals she does have the Devil Gene, and the Devil Gene pretty much guarantees you beat Ogre, alright? Oh snap, unknown. Yeah, she's definitely gonna beat Ogre. Not exactly a canon character, but still beating Ogre. Alright everyone, I'm gonna put more characters in this tier later on, maybe, but for now, let's move on to could win. These characters have a chance of beating Ogre, and it's a pretty good chance. However, it's not confirmed. Ogre might win this fight. So for example, Maria Zo, I think that's how you say her name. This character has the Ogre Gene as well. She's an ogre from Madagascar, apparently. In other words, there's a fighting god inside of her, and her powers look pretty intense. The stuff she can do is over the top and crazy, so she could beat Ogre, but there's no canon wins under her belt yet, so who knows? All of that spirit stuff could be for show. Maybe her punches tickle, we don't know. Then we have Fakum Ram. I feel like this dude's about it, you know? A killing machine on legs. That's how the game presents him, and I'm gonna assume that's how powerful Fakum Ram is. Then of course you have freak of natures like King and Marduk. They're going here along with Armor King. These characters are absolute freaks streaks, stopping entire freight trains with their bare hands, while also having some impressive wins under their belt. King especially is a nightmare. Then we have Brian. I bet he could beat Ogre on a good day, maybe. There he is, wearing the dumb scarf. Okay, so Fang is a freak of nature. This guy is very powerful after he got buffed, alright? In Tekken 5, he was much weaker, and I'll rant about that later, because Harada buffed him and then nerfed Asuka big time, then made her a side character and kind of a joke character, and I'm gonna rant about that. Dragunov, this man has a chance against Ogre, to be sure, maybe more of a 50-50, but that counts. Law, so this man is supposed to be close to Paul Phoenix's level, the two are rivals, and since Paul beat Ogre, you could argue that Law has a chance as well. Then finally, before moving on, we have my boy Yoshimitsu, relegated in recent games for some reason. They joke about his power level, but Yoshimitsu is supposed to be very powerful. The man can move so quickly he disappears, he can teleport, he can read minds in the comics and stuff, so yeah, he's very powerful. Alright, next up is Ogre Will Sweat. So I forgot this guy's name, but he's an exorcist who did serious damage to Devil Kazuya. Where's he at? Here he is, Claudio I think is his name. There's a whole pachinko machine adventure with him and Xiao Yu, which is hilarious, and it's canon. Then we have Lydia, and Tekken 8 especially unlocked her inner ability and was very powerful, losing to Heihachi, but still she had the best showing against him. That's how powerful Lydia is. Then you know what? Kuma. Yeah, another hot take, but Kuma has beaten Paul when he slipped up, alright? That's how powerful Kuma is supposed to be. When he's serious about winning, he can beat Paul, who beat Ogre canonically, so I'm putting Kuma in this tier. Heihachi's wife probably goes here for sure. Oh, then her demon form could probably beat Ogre, let's be real. I'm not sure how her strength is since she did lose to Heihachi, but that was young Heihachi that maybe had more energy and power. Oh, then Eliza. Yeah, I'm putting Eliza in could win. I get the feeling she's very, very powerful, but held back by narcolepsy, which is hilarious, but yeah, she's about that. She's mystical, powerful, I bet she could win. June goes in Ogre Sweats. You could argue she beats Ogre in Tekken 8, but there's no canon fights yet. In fact, some people argue if she's even actually alive in Tekken 8, since she hasn't interacted with anybody yet. Zafina, done so dirty in Tekken 8. She would make Ogre sweat, and before Tekken 8 made her job so hard, I would have thought she could win. But after getting one shot by Kazuya, I'm sorry, she goes in tier 3. Done so dirty by the writers. I was mad for days about that moment. It was so stupid. All that build up to her character in Tekken 7, only for nothing to happen. I was so salty. Xiao Yu, she's an absolute monster. This woman beats Nina on a regular basis, in the show and also in one of the games too, maybe a pachinko machine, but still, she's beaten Nina multiple times. People underestimate what an absolute machine Xiao Yu is supposed to be. Then we have Panda, that was trained by her while also being a Kuma level threat, right? It's a bear. Keep in mind, by the way, I'm gonna mix these characters around. Elisa goes up here somewhere, and then we have Jack. Jack 8 could probably beat Ogre, but this is Jack 7 in the picture, so I'm going off Jack 7. I'm gonna put Bruce here along with Bob. I think Bob is about that life. If it's lore accurate Bob from Tekken 6, or is it Tekken 5? I forget, but he was unstoppable in that game, so top tier. Alright, now it's time for landing some hits. These characters would hit Ogre a couple of times, then lose. Alright, they land some juicers, they're tough folks, but realistically stand no chance against Ogre. First up is Asuka, and I'm gonna rant real quick, alright? Let me find the character first though. There she is. So I'm biased towards this character. I love playing her in earlier Tekken games, and in Tekken 8 she became top tier. It was amazing, love to see it. But this quick rant is entirely lore based. Asuka was invented to replace June. She can even turn off the devil influence, similar to June, right? Same kind of ability. She was meant to replace June in the lore. And in Tekken 5, originally, it was canon that Asuka defeated Fang. If you disagree, then answer this question. How was Asuka anywhere near Jinpachi versus Jin? Why was she there? I'll tell you why. She was chasing Fang to avenge her father. She confronted him and must have beat him because otherwise she'd be unconscious and unable to turn off the devil form of Jin. But she was conscious because she won the fight. That's the original lore. That's the original canon. Asuka was meant to be stronger than Fang, but sadly, Harada's favorite character is Fang, so he got buffed, became way more important in the story, and Asuka got sidelined. Ever since, Asuka's been a joke character who always fights with Lily, and that's it. She's forever doomed in limbo to beef with this character instead of having any plot relevance. So alright, that's my rant. Modern Asuka goes in landing some hits, but original Asuka from Tekken 5 could have won. That's how strong she used to be before Harada started playing favorites, alright? Eddie goes here, I would argue Miguel goes here. Still no clue how strong Miguel is supposed to be. Did he canonically confront Jin and win, or is that a what-if scenario? We don't know. Christy goes here as well, along with Eddie, and then we have Anna. With her weapons especially, actually. She would make Ogre sweat a little bit. Lucky Chloe goes in no chance. All right, getting that out of the way right now, along with Alex and Roger. They got no chance. They're cute, but don't got a chance. Josie is too busy crying to ever stand a chance. Julia would land some hits, but the original is not landing any hits and has zero chance. Where's she at? Michelle, you're going down here. This woman couldn't even hurt Heihachi. That was her whole goal, and she failed miserably. She jobbed super hard. Miharu, I'm not ranking. Lily is like right behind Asuka, maybe a little bit further actually. I don't like Lily. Asusina probably goes in this tier somewhere. She seems strong enough. Elliot goes here too. Wait, is it Elliot? Your name's not Elliot. That's a dead or alive character, isn't it? I care so little about this character, I forgot her name. Hwoarang. So here's an interesting one. He would make Ogre sweat. Actually, should he be higher? No, I'll put him in Ogre will sweat because this man once fought Jin to a standstill and only lost because of Devil Trigger. That's the only reason. So yeah, Hwoarang's about that life. He's been sidelined a bit because Harada loves to do that, but here we are. Sumo Boy stands no chance. Forgot his name, but he's a joke character now forever. Forest Law. He probably lands some hits. Yeah, he'd land some hits. Kunimitsu would actually make Ogre sweat. She stole the sword from Yoshimitsu, so she's about that. I'd say like around here maybe. Seems good. Beck. So this man died to Ogre originally, then I guess it got retconned. King 1 is still dead though. The original king canonically died, but not Bak for some reason. This guy has no chance, like no confirmed wins anywhere. Dr. Boskonovich is not a fighter. Combat's not gonna win anything. Gokujin, not gonna win either. Miharu, I'm not gonna rank. Nina! So here's a funny rant. This is the biggest fraud in Tekken. Not even joking. She's hyped up so much with all this aura. Every scene they hype her up like, oh, it's Nina. Nina's here, right? The big assassin. Made a whole game about her. She's amazing, except she loses all the time. Sometimes off screen. Got clapped by Heihachi. Pause. I don't mean that way, but yeah, she got beaten up off screen. It was embarrassing. A full YouTube video got made around how fraudulent Nina is. I recommend you all watch it. Biggest fraud in Tekken history. She has no chance against Ogre. She can't win any fight that matters. Katarina has no real fights because she was in Tekken 7 and that game only. She never returned. Lei Wulong, I want to say he could land some hits, land some juicers. He has the drunken boxing and goofy stuff. He could be a bit of a threat. Oh, so we have Lee. I would say Lee maybe goes in second, third row? Third row. Yeah. Oh, but Raven and then Victor are probably going in the second tier. I'll move them around a bit later. Where is Victor? This guy goes in row 1. I'm forgetting his name. Leroy. So Leroy goes in tier 1. I think he beats Ogre. That's very likely. The man was toying with Jin. All right, he's definitely next level. Don't count the Netflix version. That's not really Leroy. Steve Fox landing some hits. Maybe he's a bit more stronger than I'm giving him credit for, but for now he's going and landing some hits. Violet doesn't count. He's a duplicate. A lot of these characters are just guessed. Oh, Gigas might land some hits. He's big enough to land some hits. Just brute force it. But just like Katarina, there's no canon wins here, right? The guy showed up in Tekken 7 and then never again. So who knows how strong the character actually is. P-Jack probably goes in landing some hits, right? And then most of these other characters are just spin-offs and clones, right? JC is just Julia. Kunimitsu 2 is Kunimitsu. Grandmaster Raven is just Raven. Only theoretically died to Dragunov, which means she's arguably weaker than Raven, which is hilarious to think about. If that character never comes back, then it's canon. She died to Dragunov, all right? Sebastian is a clone character pretty much. Slim Bob. I don't know who this is. No clue who this is. Violet is just Lee, and then Tiger's a clone character too. So yeah, I think we've ranked everybody, which means it's just time to move them around. And there you go, everybody, ranking every character against Ogre, who wins, who could win, and so on and so forth. If you disagree, please let me know why in the comments and keep it civil, all right? Don't be mean to me. It's hard to make a video like this because Tekken itself is very, very inconsistent. So all right, everyone, there you have it. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like down below. Let's try and make this video as popular as the M. Bison Street Fighter video. We can't let the Street Fighter fans show up the Tekken fans. So share this video, like the video, all that incredible stuff. Then if you're new, subscribe so you never miss any future content. Thanks for watching, everyone. Come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.